listening to Soundcheck with the Moose.
Welcome to the Soundchecked full album review. This is where we do something that nobody else does. You can send in your release to a magazine, to a radio station, to any kind of press place, and they'll write up a review, or they'll review it on the air. They'll, rate it in tacos or something stupid like that. Who the hell would do that? But nobody will play your entire album and then rate it track by track, song by song, and then give you a full breakdown of what they think of the record. You're not going to find that anywhere, except for right here on the Soundchecked full album review. We do everything on the entire album, talking about production, noise, gates, guitar tones, snare tones. I mean, I talk about all of it, and we're the only people that do it. And tonight, man, I'm excited because I get to do Sugar Virus, which it's a horror rock kind of a deal. You look at the cover and the werewolves and the ladies in distress and the blood and the werewolf, and hell yeah, I'm so stoked about it. This is a Devil's Brew release, which my good friend Robert Pilson owns the label, and the deal is with him, and hey, you send it to me, I'm going to do a full album review. We're going to have fun with it, and I am super stoked about this. I haven't heard a single damn song, so when I do this, it's coming straight, unabridged, exactly how I feel, and I don't care that I know the owner of the label, because if it's terrible, I'm going to say that. If it's awesome, I'm going to say that too. So, but knowing Robert, man, he knows how to pick them. Sugar Virus on the full album review on Soundcheck. Let's get into this.
listening to Soundcheck with the Moose.
Sugar Virus with it's called The Ripper. It's not title cut because the album's called Wolf's Breath off of Devil's Brew. For me, it's got enough Misfits, a little bit of maybe Metallica, little Volbeat, got some good melody in it. So the secret to the Misfits is always the really catchy melodies that were buried underneath the garbage, you know. And then also, I really appreciate that it's not overly slick. It's still got that punk rock edge production to it, and I like that a lot as well. Killer tune, killer opener song. And I would go with a 4.5 Tacos right off the bat. Great cover art, killer opener. We'll see if they can keep up with the way they kicked it off, because that was a pretty damn good opener. This is Sugar Virus, Wolf's Breath. By the way, Wolf's Breath, because I still have a swollen tongue because I bit my tongue and it's swollen, so I can't say Wolf's Breath very well. On to the next cut. This is Moose coming to you from the Moose Pit here in Oklahoma City.
You're up to many.
and Sugar Virus continuing. So here's the deal. Right off on the second cut, they're going to bring this up. It's always dangerous in the horror metal, the horror punk, whatever you want to call it. You got to be careful about sounding too much like the Ramones or the Misfits, because people will kind of tag you immediately as a rehash. So part of me says that, and then the other part of me says, hell, man, there are a million stoner bands that sound a lot like Sabbath that get worshipped. But, if you ask me, there's a certain group of them that do the Sabbath sound with their own signature. Like Paul Bearer is a great example. Did I say example? It's bad. So that last cut teetered just a little bit too much on the Misfits line for me. Different from the first track, which didn't. It had enough Misfits in it to make you feel comfortable, but it also had enough of its own signature to be cool. So that one was probably more of a like three taco kind of a deal. We'll see how that goes on this one, because it gets a little gets a little scary when you start sounding too much like the Misfits. You just got to be careful about that. But I'm loving it so far, and we keep rolling on the full album review,
where you get rated in tacos, only on Soundcheck. Want to know if you suck? Hey, you suck. Send your music to Soundcheck.
I want to immediately just continue to talk about how this sounds like the Misfits. And I want to say that it has some Green Day isms in it, some Descendants, some Ramones, some punky stuff. Of course, that's what makes it what it is. That's another reason why I'm not talking a lot about the production and the way it sounds, and nothing is crisp, but that's perfect for what it is. It's supposed to be, sound like a B movie. You know what I mean? It's not supposed to be overproduced. It's not supposed to be super crisp and, the greatest guitar tones and bass tones, which I do love the bass tone. It has that muddy, flappy feel to it. I love the drums as well because they're not crisp. They're just kind of there in the background. They're just like drums at some sort of a, ritual kind of a deal. Dig it. So I'm not going to harp on how much it sounds like the Misfits because it has so much more in it. It's got all of those good punk influences in it, heavily dominated by the Misfits. But I mean, that's kind of what we're expecting, right? It's a horror rock deal. I mean, I love it so far. It's one of those things that if I heard it on the radio, I'd be like, I wonder who the hell that was. It was like a really good Misfits kind of horror punk deal. So yeah, we're gonna keep moving. I'm loving it so far. I would, I'd give that a 3.5, maybe 3.75 taco. Nice.
Baby, drowning on my way. You grab my neck, but you're too late. And now you're dead. And now you're dead. We are certain, and now you're gone. Baby, drowning through my hell. You grab your crucifix, but you won't sell. And now you're dead. And now you're dead. We are certain, and now you're gone. Baby, drowning. I see your eyes. You reach for me, and you'll still die. And now you're dead. And now you're dead. We are certain, and now you're gone.
Find Soundcheck on iTunes, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and in your local taco truck.
How many little goth girls are going to be, listening to that, thinking about their goth guy? They're watching Lost Boys or some weird Johnny Depp movie together, and the love is in the air. Can you feel it? Man, that was good, though. It was a cool ballad. Like, after those first cuts, it just kind of shocked me. It was like, oh, this is kind of vampiric, sweet sappiness. I liked it. That was unexpected for me personally. I don't know. Maybe that's a norm, but yeah, it was good. It was really, really good. That was like a 4.25 taco tune because I felt a little feelings on my blackened heart, and that was fun. Sugar Virus just touched my heart. Well, they actually did that with the werewolf on the front. I was like, yeah. And the lady with her shirt being ripped off, that was nice too. You gotta throw that in there. More Sugar Virus right now on the Soundchecked full album review with Moose. That's me.
Text in your request to the Soundcheck Taco line 424-666-7356.
I do kind of wish that they would have followed up that beautiful ballad with a song that had a little bit of vitriol, a little bit of anger, a little bit of, gasoline, some fuel. That's the way you follow up a ballad right there. Love the bass breakdown, nice and punky, nice and angry. I mean, that was all the good things you want out of a horror punk song. It was missing maybe a weird horror movie sound effect, which I keep waiting to hear. It's an essential deal. A woman scream or, Dracula saying, "I am Dracula." It's something cool like that. And weird B-movie sci-fi horror sound effect. I'm waiting on it. It could happen. I don't know, man. It's early, but we're getting there. I wanted to say real quick that there are 3 bonus cuts when you buy this on Bandcamp. I am not playing those on this show. Out of respect. See? Respect to my friend Robert Pilson, because I want you to go buy this record. And and the bonus tracks are worth it. But I want you to go buy it because Robert deserves the support, and so does the band. It's a good damn band, man. I just I'm happy with it so far, and I'm not, because I'm always scared to do these records. I'm like, oh, Misfits clone, but it's not a clone so far. It's really good. It's got its own little flavor to it. Yeah, man. So it's got enough metal and enough punk. Like, I think that it could. I can't think of the word, but I think people who like Volbeat and Metallica, would like it. It's definitely got that poppy happiness to it. Then people who like, like I said, Green Day or Descendants or anything like that could be into it. It's got enough gothiness into it with the ballad that the girls who were the ripped up pantyhose and the black lipstick, yeah, they'd like it too. So, it's one of those kind of deals. So far, it works for me. Okay, it was kind of weird. I just stopped out of nowhere. It's this new thing. So anyway, it's not earth shattering, but if I heard it on the radio, I'd want to know who it was, and I would go check into it. Of course, I'm still always looking for new music because I'm a big nerd, but that's just me. So, the goth girls are going to like it, the punkers, the rockers, the metalheads, people into monsters like me. I like all the music and the monsters, so it's cool. So, yeah, go buy it so you can get the bonus tracks. That'll be cool. We're keeping on with the keeping on. Sugar Virus.
Hey, this is Caesar from Zero Theorem, and you are listening to Moose's Soundcheck on Metal Moose Radio.
Did anybody else catch that Larry Farkas from Die Happy and Vengeance, bluesy? God, that sounded so much like Larry. Just his playing has such a good signature to it, and that wad craziness. And I liked that especially because it was kind of like the horror business meets stoner rock. Had the fist pumping, oh, had the kind of the wolfy scream in it. I liked the intro with the mono drum. Very cool. I could say a lot about, production issues and this is and that, but it's really, really good for what it is. Like, if you overproduce it, it's overkill. And if you underproduce it and then people just don't pay enough attention to it, they're just like, oh, crap. But with the production that it still has that real underground kind of 80s dungeon-esque kind of punk rock feel to it, which is cool. I'm really impressed with it. It's one of those, as I continue to listen to it, it's one of those records that I feel like I wouldn't have to listen to a bunch of times. Like, I feel like it's kind of classic already. You know what I mean? I'm so comfortable with the tone and the sounds and the feel of it. It just feels like it's been out for 30 years. I really dig that. They've hit that stride of, you don't feel any lack of confidence in it. You're just like, hey, here's what we do. It's awesome, and we're going to continue to do it. And it's just got a dated tone with a little bit of, I don't even know, little modern metal thrown in there. I don't know. Really, really good record. I like it's had different phases and different steps. It's kind of carrying you up and down with a ballad and with that tune that was kind of stonerish. Yeah, man, I like it's covering a lot of bases. Yeah, man, Sugar Virus. Pogo the Clown, I'm scared to death. Everybody loves clowns, right? Especially named Pogo. What the hell? John Wayne Gacy.
Hey, this is Chadwick from 3 Left, and you're listening to Moose on the Soundcheck.
I'm digging all the old school way, the format they're putting it together. There's a lot of jumping around and heavy stuff and weird stuff, and then the ballad, and then you have the instrumental. I used to love the whole, 3 hard songs, ballad, 3 more hard songs, instrumental, then rest of the album. I like the format of that. It's a lot of the things about this record that I like have to do with format and sound and age, because it's kind of takes me back. It's not. It really has an old school feel to it, but it's fresh. And that's my favorite thing about it, is that I can sit here all day and say it sounds like this band, it sounds like that band, blah, 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 but it's good. It's like good stuff. I mean, you can sit around and have the argument for a million years that Descendants was before Green Day, but they're both awesome. So who cares? This is good stuff. It doesn't really matter who I think it sounds like. I love the production. I love the format. It feels genuine. It's not like processed, overproduced. It's something I want to see live. That's a big deal. It's raw enough that I don't kind of push it aside as overdone. I love the production. So I thought that instrumental was amazing. It was a great kind of like interlude into the last cuts of the record. It's so well done. I don't really have anything bad to say. The songs are good. Production's good. The playing is amazing. The vocals I like them, and there's a lot of feeling in them, kind of soul, which is kind of weird in a horror punk metal band. But I believe that he feels what he's singing, and that's a big deal to me. So this one's called "The Bitch in Black." I said the B word. No.
this is Izzy Devious and Lieutenant Colonel Lee from Accidental President in Sydney, Australia.
G'day to all you listeners at Metal Moose Radio.
Agitators and flag bearers.
Stay brutal.
I feel like there maybe was a bad experience with the woman coming out of that. I just, maybe I'm wrong, but there seemed to be a little vitriol, little unhappiness with the lady. Anyway, yeah, that to me was a good driving song. That's kind of like, roll your windows down or your top down and just crank it to 10. Just scare the hell out of everybody you drive by. Has that good underground feel. I liked that. It was a song that, a type of song that I call a pusher. It kind of wakes you up if you've lost any interest. You're like, yeah, here we go. Good tune. It's probably, I forgot to give a taco rating on the instrumental, which was a total 5 for me. That was like a 4 taco tune. I like it. It keeps the energy going. It stays in line with what the band is about. That's one thing that I've noticed as well. A lot of bands will put out records and they'll try to be 5 different things, and it doesn't work because they haven't grown comfortable with what they are and what they're good with. Sugar Virus has stayed the same. It's like a ZZ Top record. I mean, ZZ Top does what they do, and they do it. AC/DC, they do what they do, and they don't try to clown you or fool you. This is straight up. Here's what we do, and I like it. So, yeah, man, I'm really enjoying the hell out of this. I hope you guys are too. Thanks for listening to full album review. These are fun to do for me. I get to, act like I'm in the studio with the band and giving them ideas. And not that they would listen, but I would try. So that's why I do these, but I like it. So, I started out as a reviewer for Metal Observer and Pit Magazine and all this other different stuff. So I started out listening to stuff and telling people what I thought about it, which is kind of pointless because we're all going to have different feelings about it. But for some reason, people think if I dig it, it's good, which, I mean, I like to think so too, but you never know. I could be completely wrong. All right, we're going to keep moving on. 2 more songs on the record here. Make sure and check the weekly podcast at www.themetalmoose.com. Find us on Facebook, on Pinterest, on Twitter, on Instagram, everywhere, except for Tinder. We don't do that because this is a face for radio, telling you right now. Hope the guys in Sugar Virus are enjoying this, and Mr. Pilson. A couple more songs to go, and we keep moving on with Wolf's Breath. I think I said it that time. It still sounded like hell.
Hey metal fans, this is Matt from the band Rectify, and you're listening to The Moose.
You're damn right you're listening to The Moose. So here's the deal. That song had that animal instinct, kind of really, really passionate, sexual kind of, it had that vampire. One of those things about the old classic monster movies was the sexuality of the monsters and how it made it attractive and scary. It was bothersome that you were attracted to Dracula. He was a killer. It was scary and disturbing to you how you had feelings for Dracula. Not Dracula, but Frankenstein. You felt sorry for him and you cared about him. That's one of those things that puts you in that uncomfortable place where you have feelings for things that maybe you shouldn't. And that tune, it was uncomfortable because I'm just like, okay, this is like really kind of, kind of hold on to my man card here because this guy's trying to woo me with his sexual song. I don't know, man. It's hard to explain, but it's a key element in this kind of music that you have that mystical sexual aura about you. And I think it's just it's one of those things that's in all of these kind of bands. This part of the horror rock industry, the horror industry, sex is always tied into it. So pretty cool. Listen, I'm holding on to my man card. I almost took my shirt off and threw it at you, but then I thought I like chicks. Yeah. So anyway, but it would have worked if I were a girl. Yeah, I'd have been. Yeah. What outfit do you need me to wear? So anyway, Sugar Viruses. This is a really good record, man. Nice tune. That was a probably 3.75 tune. We're gonna end things off with a song called Baba Yaga, which is a great title. No idea what's coming up with this one. Here we go. It's the last cut. Sugar Virus, Wolf's Breath. Let's do it.
This is Noah Shark from Motogrator, and you're listening to Moose's Soundcheck on Metal Moose Radio.
It's an absolute Five Taco song to end off the record. And there have been a couple Five Taco songs, and that's not the usual case, especially when I do a whole record. You know, usually there's one, maybe. If we're lucky, we'll get one. There was a couple on here. I think my biggest advice is for the band to do everything that they can to convince people not to pigeonhole them as a Danzig wannabe, a Misfits wannabe, because a lot of people are going to do that right off the bat. They're going to be like, okay, here we go, another one of these, and people are not going to be interested. So I would market myself as a horror rock band with a Danzig influence, but do everything you can to make people think that you're not a carbon copy. Because you're not. You have some Danzig influence. You have some Descendants influence. You have some that punky Descendants, Green Day, super bluesy, killer, stony guitar in there. A lot of good things. I mean, there's nothing about the production I would change. Nothing. It's perfect for what you are. Gosh, I usually have bad things to say, but I don't. It's not a Five Taco record. There were a couple spots that were a little weak, but it's a 4, maybe even a 4.25 Taco record. Something I would totally suggest to buy. And once again, I hope that you guys take it as a compliment that this is something I would listen to long enough to get to know the songs, and then I'm going to put it away because it's got that classic feel to it. It's got that. I've been around for so long and we're so good at what we do. I don't need to continually be impressed by it. I was impressed the first time I heard it. So I really think it's a good record all the way around. It starts good. It ends good. It has peaks and valleys and just different sounds, and I really appreciated it as a record, and that's hard to do anymore because a lot of people don't do that. I like it. I think you guys continue doing what you're doing, and I have one of your press copies, the test thing autographed. That's huge. Man, love it. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in wherever you're listening on one of the radio stations around the world, or on iTunes or iHeartRadio, YouTube, wherever you're tuning in from. We appreciate it. This is the Moose coming to you from the Moose Pit Studio in Oklahoma City. This has been a Soundchecked full album review, and I've had a blast. Say it at the end of every show, and I'm going to say it again. You wake up, you kick ass, you be kind, you repeat. It's how we take care of each other. You have the opportunity to change somebody's entire life just by smiling at them. Make sure and do that. Take advantage of that power. Take care of each other, man. Stay safe in the pit. Keep it metal. Keep it horror rock. Keep it anything that rocks, man. And until next time, do me a favor and take care.
All rights to the music heard on the Metal Moose are reserved by the authors, their labels, or authorized representatives that permitted their material to be used. The Metal Moose holds no rights to any music played on the show. Go to themetalmoose.com to submit your music to be heard on the show. Metal Moose accepts donations of money, Cheetos, bacon, and naked pictures. Thank you for tuning in and subscribe on iTunes. Rock out while you rack out and consider yourself moosed.